What is up, guys? Pocket Craft here, and today I'm going to be talking about the top 5 decks in the Pokemon trading card game, the online version, but I mean it goes as well for the actual version as well. And so just a quick disclaimer, this is all my opinion. These are just the ones that either I've had the most success winning with or that I've seen other people have success to, or in other words, the ones that have beaten me most often that I've had the biggest issue with. And so these are in no particular order. All 5 of these are pretty even. It just kind of depends the setup, right? And that's the thing about the Pokemon trading card game that you got to remember is some games you're just going to lose no matter how good your deck is, just because you won't get a very good setup, right? A lot of it does depend on what card you draw and what cards they draw. And all the decks can be good in their own way, but there's some that are definitely better. And so the first one I'm going to start off with, which technically number 5, but I think it'd probably be higher than that, is the Mach Strike deck, or I just call it the Chomp deck. This deck is really, really good. It starts off with Gibble and Gabite, who both have Ascension. So you can just, as long as you put them out first, you can evolve them to Garchomp super quick, even if you don't have them, if you haven't drawn them into your hand. Lucario with Precognitive Aura is super good because as long as you have a Garchomp, you can just draw any card you want every turn, which is super helpful. Hippowdon's a tank, but he takes a while to set up. Gumshoe's actually, surprisingly, is really powerful with that Identify move. That can do a lot of damage. It lets you see their hand as well. And then there's some good supporter cards as well, like the Timer Ball, Rescue Stretcher. There's a lot of good stuff in here. So this deck, I've probably won the most with. This is probably my favorite one to use. The Relentless Flame deck is really good. This is one that I've lost to a lot, and I've actually won with a lot since I started using it. Charizard is an absolute beast because he can put fire energies on 2 fire energies on anyone he wants, which is him. But usually, because when you discard 2 of them, you can do 50 extra damage for each one you discard. And so he does a ton of damage, and he doesn't take that much energy to set up, and you don't even have to put any energy on him because his ability can put it on immediately. So that's super clutch. Nidoqueen is really good. With her Queen's Call, you can search your deck for any Pokemon and put it into your hand. Just super nice. And then Rapidash, surprisingly, is the one that when I play people usually stalls me the most, and that's just because of this agility here. It only takes 2 energy, but if you flip a heads, they can't do any damage to you the next turn. So sometimes I've been stalled where I could easily knock out the Rapidash, but it gets 3 hits on me, and each time it gets heads and I can't hit it, and it'll take out a Pokemon of mine that's a lot more powerful. And so Rapidash is actually pretty clutch. And there's some pretty good trainer and supporter cards in here as well. Torrential Cannon is actually one of my favorites. If it's not Mach Strike, then this one's probably my favorite. This is the first one I bought, actually, and I won a lot with it. Blastoise is a beast. Its attack is 150. It does have some recoil, but that's all right because its ability, Powerful Squall, you can look at the top 6 cards and attach any of the energy cards you see there to your Pokemon in any way you want. And so this makes it super easy to set up as soon as you have a Blastoise. And then Golduck here is actually a beast as well. Because of Swim, if any of your Pokemon have water on it, you can do damage to their bench Pokemon as well. And then Amnesia as well, you can set up super easy with this because you can make it so they can't use one of their attacks. And a lot of Pokemon only really have one good attack. Or if you look at someone like Blastoise, only has 1 attack. And so if you use Amnesia, they can't attack the next turn. And so that one is super helpful. And then the Pidgey line is a beast as well. With Pidgeotto, Airmail is always helpful for getting more cards. And then Pidgeot's just pretty good. And you can use Whirlwind to get, or Spin Storm to switch out a Pokemon that's causing problems with you. And there's really good supporter cards and trainer cards in here as well. So this is one I really like. And the next 2 are ones I actually don't have yet. So we're going to go over to the decks here. And it's actually going to take a second there. But if you look at the decks here, I'm going to go through. A lot of these are really good, right? There's a lot of ones that I'm not going to mention that are actually really good. Like the Starmanitan one is really good. The Zamazenta, I have a really hard time saying that Pokemon's name. That one's really good, as well as the Farfetch'd one. But the one I want to point out is the Cinderace one is absolutely really, really good. Cinderace is an absolute beast, can take out a lot. I don't know why. I mean, if you look at this one, it really doesn't look like it should be that good. But I think it's something with the supporter cards it has. I don't know. I've lost to this one a lot. This one is really, really good. And Sudowoodo actually can come in clutch and be a lot better than you think he should be. So that one's pretty good. And then for our final one is this one. This Groudon deck has given me so much trouble. If you can get it out early, you're fine. But if they have any time to set up, you're donezo. Because they can switch any Pokemon out as long as they've been hit once. And then Thraw becomes an absolute beast. The Garchomp here is really quick to set up. And he is a beast as well. And then Palpitoad actually can do a lot of hurt with its mini Earthquakes, as it does 10 damage to every single benched Pokemon. Seismitoad is really good, especially with its Bulldoze ability. And then Groudon here is the absolute beast. He only needs 1 energy, and then he can put 2 energy either onto him or a different Pokemon. And then Trembling Ground here does 130 damage. And it's true you can't use it the next turn, but a strategy I see a lot of people do is they'll come out, they use Trembling Ground, and the next turn, you'll hit them, and then they can't use Trembling Ground the next turn, but they'll use a switch supporter card, which they have in here, and go into Thraw, and Thraw will then be able to do 120 damage, and so take pretty much anything out. Not to mention that if they could just use the retreat cost, even if they don't have it, they only need to attach 1 energy, and then they can put 2 more back on. The Mew, I mean, it's all right, but it really doesn't usually affect too much. Same with the Passimian, but the rest of the support cards are pretty good. But that's about it. Those, in my opinion, are the top 5 decks in the Pokemon trading card game. I'm sure I've left out some really good ones. There are a lot of other really, really good ones, and some I haven't even really seen much of, like this one. But comment down below what your favorite deck to use is and what you like most about the Pokemon trading card game, as well as what other kind of videos about Pokemon trading card game that you'd like to see if you want me to make more about this. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.